Uh-oh.
Upcoming. I see upcoming. Hey, there we go.
Woo woo.
I exist. Good Lord, that delay.
Work never stops.
Of course it doesn't.
No, I just got a safety net, and I got to deal with tomorrow morning.
I like the way it sounded like I laughed at you there on YouTube because it's playing on a delay.
Oh, you don't have your YouTube muted?
That's probably a good idea. There you go.
Yeah.
Now I just want to do a bad AI impression. Just sit here and be like, "Hello, I am Q from Dicejunkies." Well, I did say, it's the untalented.
We need to get you a Dicejunkies background, bro.
I mean, I've asked, but he refuses to do the work for me, and I refuse to do the work for me.
I sent him the link. It is literally download the image and go use this as background.
Oh, where's the link at?
Oh, we're live right now.
I will use my.
I know. I'll change it right now.
Welcome to Dicejunkies. I'm Xenodamus. I'm here with
Q.
And
on Skype we have the Disappointed Bloodaxe because
we have Q and you on Skype today, so both of you are on Skype.
Again, like I said, he's lazy. He won't even download the Dicejunkies logo for his background.
I know.
Why? Before I put someone else's YouTube channel's background behind
I think he wants me to literally drive over to his house and set it up for him.
Yes,
that's what I said. Yeah, I'm being lazy. Where the hell is this link, man? You just be lying to me. I'm all up in here looking for links.
No, it's a Google Drive link I sent you.
Oh, Google Drive, man, that requires even more work.
And don't worry about it right now. We're doing a show, man.
I am the show. Look at me, man. No. I'm beautiful. I'm entertaining.
All right. Let's see. Where do we want to start?
The beginning.
From the beginning. Thanks.
In the beginning, there was only darkness.
Then the earth cooled. Then the dinosaurs came. But they got big and fat, so they all died.
Oh.
Hey, we found out the purpose of the dinosaurs. Your boy Zeno's a scholar and a philosopher. We're not sharing it, though. You got to go to the pay. What's it? What's our pay site? You got to go get the special membership.
Our OF page.
Yeah, you got to. Yeah. What, OnlyFans? What do you say? They don't normally do philosophy on OnlyFans, unless they do it naked.
Oh yeah.
Now, if they really want to see that, then everybody has a price. I'll put it that way.
We're men. We have no shame.
No, we don't.
If you're into dad bods, I'll give you all the dad bods you want.
Man, the bad decisions I've made during my lifetime.
I know. I've been there for more of them than I care for.
You've been there for 16 years of them, yeah. I know. Yeah. Longer than that, close to 20. Oh, God. I've known you for about 21 years. Yeah.
Just take your son's age, shave off a few years, and that's how long I've known you. He was a little something, a little tight.
Oh yeah, I remember we were playing D&D at my house, and Dad radar went off. We're playing, everybody having a good time, and there's no sound. I'm like, "Where's my son?" He had lumbered into the backyard. Oh my goodness.
Children.
Sorry, I didn't relish the show. Go ahead, Zeno.
Oh no, it's fine. And we sort of derail all the time. So what's new if you derail for once, Yeah,
the only time I derails was something when Grounded comes out, which they did have an update this week for the play test, folks, which is pretty interesting actually.
Well, why don't you tell us about that? We'll pull up that. I mean, we hadn't talked Grounded in a while, man.
No,
anything interesting in Grounded World?
Well, they redid the raw science so that when you go into New Game Plus higher levels, you actually get more raw science. So I was playing around with it, and I went and fought the Mantis. Well, first I fought the Broodmother, and I got like 54,000 raw science.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay. Well, they also changed the way the scythe works. I'm farming a scythe from the Mantis, and you have the Mantis who summons two smaller Mantises, and all three of them gave me 54,000 raw science each. So I get 162,000 raw science for one Mantis fight, which is insane. So I have like 1.3 million raw science now that's just sitting there. But what they did was they let you now level up your armor to level 15, which is pretty damn
Well,
cool.
because they upped all the boss damage.
They tweaked it a little bit. It's it started off like with plus 20%, then it goes like 25 or 40 or whatever it is, and they are tougher. But the way that the armor works, though, it's the scaling is equal as long as you're leveling up your gear to go along with it. But between that and what they did with the we had an event during actually going on right now for March where there's these gold coins that you can actually farm where all the food spawns are, and you can create this little bowler hat that gives you loot luck. But also, any bug that doesn't have green in it, you do an extra 20% damage. So, the Wasp Queen and the Broodmother you can pretty much slay, but you can't use it against the Mantis or the infected Broodmother because of the green on them. But it's pretty cool.
What they do to the scythe? You said they updated it. What they do to it?
Pull it up, Zeno, because they think they changed the speed of it to where the speed is now absolutely insane. Let me pull it up real quick because I wasn't expecting to talk about it, but
I mean, I just wanted a short description. I just didn't know. Like, I was curious.
I've been farming it because they updated the speed of it, and now all infused weapons work with Apex Predator.
Yeah, I saw that, which needed to happen because that was a big debuff to the infused weapons. Losing that effect from using weapons that should have got that benefit.
Is this the one? Playground Showcase, March 12th. I think this is it.
I need infused staves, though, man. I'm a mage, dang it.
They don't have any of those, and that's really disappointing.
I'd come back and play if they did, because it'll be interesting to farm them up and try to do more with it. But I hit my damage cap because of that. You know, the most I could get out of it. You remember that? I was like, all right, I've hit the cap. I can't get any more damage. And if you keep going to remix mode, you're just going to keep falling off. Whereas the infused weapons are what keep up, you know, allow you to kind of keep running, keep going up a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And I really would love to see that. But I'm shocked because when we stopped playing, it was supposed to be done. Like Obsidian had basically said, yeah, we're through. So the idea that they're still doing stuff is a surprise.
Well, that shocked me, and that's why I sent you the link. Let me go back to our chat. I'll just pull
and I'd
up.
rather they be working on Grounded too.
Yeah, 1.4.7. And well, either that or yeah, I want something that actually works with the newer consoles because the way they built it to work with the old Xbox One, it's really limiting what it can do from a speed perspective. And it's also what's causing the memory leak. The zip lines, so if you when you use the reverse zip line, it's so damn slow. They actually increase the speed by 50%.
I saw that,
which is pretty cool. They fixed the stamina to where if you're briskly walking but not full running, it doesn't burn stamina anymore, which is pretty cool.
They need to do that, yeah.
The lure trap now attracts stink bugs and the green shield bugs. Not that anybody ever uses the lure traps. The baby ants now get more armor and health. So on woe mode, they won't be as squishy, but
I thought they gave you armor.
No, no.
Oh no, you're right. That isn't under buffs. That's what they get.
I think the black ant gives you armor, but the fire ant gives you more damage. Gives you was it acid damage, and then the red ant gives you hauling strength. But no, they have been buffed. But the one that you really want is probably the aphid because now you actually get an extra 30% sprint speed with that as your pet.
And overall movement speed.
Yeah.
Well, no. It says that you get a 15% movement speed bonus and you reduce 30% less stamina drain while sprinting, which is still good because getting around the map is what you want. But honestly, DLC or or the sequel is what I'd rather, especially because as the joke that me and Zeno always make, and this is how we can roll back into gaming, is like we said, like they said it themselves about Outer Worlds 2. Obsidian's good at the second game, right?
Well,
So Grounded 2 is going to be awesome. Waiting on Grounded 2. It's like, hey, Grounded 2, we're going to make it way better than the first game. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah,
that's how they haven't said that, but that's what I want to hear. They're promising that with Outer Worlds 2. They need it at this point desperately after Avowed was an absolute, like failure of epic proportion. And yes, I mean epic. I'm shooting shots at epic.
Yeah.
But no, like I'm hoping that here's the one thing that I'm trying to be an optimist because the world we live in, even right now, I'm trying to make the most out of situations. The one good thing that I'm hoping about Avowed being so terrible is that Obsidian will stop doing this and start doing their job. You know what I'm saying? And stop screwing up. And we'll get a good Outer Worlds 2. We'll get a good Grounded was actually pretty good, but we'll get an even better Grounded 2. And hey, you know what? We all might be within a year or two praising the heck out of Avowed 2.
Well, the thing
I'm trying to be an optimist. If Obsidian survives that long.
Grounded started off with a small development team, but we get to play it in a pre-test mode, and they were extremely active with the community. I can't tell you how many conversations I had with the devs on Grounded to give them information about bugs or suggestions and things like that, and they were very receptive to it.
Well, look at their best games. Their best games had a lot of communication with the community and them going. I remember like Zeno always talks about how bad New Vegas was, but I remember when I started playing it, one of the things I saw was them saying that there was a lot of back and forth with them going, yeah, we need to fix that. Okay, we're doing this, we're doing that. And yet you look at Avowed where they were telling everybody to shut up, they were blocking stuff, throwing you out, community managers, throwing people out, and you got a crap game. And then Outer Worlds wasn't terrible. It was way better than Avowed, but we also didn't know what it was going to be in it at all before it happened. It was another hush-hush. Then you get a game, and you go, I wanted more.
Yeah, I'll say, dude, like Outer Worlds 2, I can expect maybe some hope there. Avowed 2, some things you just got to throw away because it's got too much stank on it, and Avowed has too much stank on it.
Man, the game I saw you play, I see where it could be fixed. I see it wasn't Veilguard.
Yeah, but there's too many key elements, like the story, the weird choral shit. I mean, there's too many little things that's sort of built into the game that if you do a sequel.
Yeah, but that's easy to fix. Dude, go holler at Pandorable or some of the other people and have them make the choral look badass. Like that's just the design. They made it look really.
I don't think you can make coral on my face look badass.
Don't doubt them people, man. They'll have you walking around with a mohawk made out of spikes, and you'll be like, "All right, that looks like friggin' Nautilus shells." You know what I'm saying? Come on, Nautilus shell mohawk spikes. See, there you go. But my point is that the game, to me, was less everything in it was bad as much as it was a lot was missing. And that's good in that you can put that in the next game. It needed more RPG elements. It needed more you could do and a better way you handle your progressive equipment. Look, but dude, it was missing.
I was reading this book earlier today, and the character is a nobility, and so he goes through and he keeps getting people just talking down to him and all this stuff. And, he's like, what is wrong with this world? Because he's not from this world originally, and keeps this. And then he, and that's how I felt like playing Avowed. Because here I am, this envoy who's supposed to be like this high, respected, thing, and as I'm going through the world, everybody's just shitting on me, and I'm just like, what is wrong? Like, no respect. And you know, so there's certain things that just don't make sense sometimes. And that completely threw me out of the game just from start, you know. But
well, see, that's fixable though. I mean,
it's not,
like you said,
the stink's already there, man. What smells bad, you know, you can't watch the smell off sometimes. There's too much stink on the valve. Like I said, with Outer Worlds, I was like, okay, there's things missing. I can see where they could have built more on this. I didn't feel disrespected playing the game. I didn't feel like I was a hated gamer playing the game. Like they didn't like, you know.
The problem is that you haven't been cutscene Aiden like me and Bloodaxe. we built up a tolerance, almost killed. like Bloodaxe, we got our asses whipped that whole game by every motherfucker we ran across. So I've got a higher tolerance for abuse. It just happens. You evolve, right, Bloodaxe?
Man, I tell you, no matter what we did, we would be whipping the stank out of this guy, and the cutscene we would get punked every stinking time. Without fail. I mean, and we would call it. Actually, if you go back and look at our streams, I streamed a lot of it on our channels. I think we have a whole thing on Dying Light 2. I think we have a folder. But the thing about Outer Worlds, I enjoyed the story, and the concept was actually pretty cool, especially with some of the questionable choices that you can do, like in the beginning with the fertilizer. And the guy was like, that's actually a pretty good idea. I'm like, that's kind of disturbing, but whatever. But I really enjoy Outer Worlds, but I wanted more out of it. And it was kind of clunky and buggy, but there's so much you could do with the different factions, and there's multiple playthrough reasons that you'd want to play the game. So I'm hoping that they fix a lot of that for Outer Worlds too. And to finish up on Grounded before we move on to the next thing, if anyone from Obsidian is watching, please, for the love of God, let us go back and fight Schmecter and the Mant again so we can farm those weapons, because it's a one shot, and you can't do it again.
No, don't you do that. We make a sequel or DLC. I'm ready for the next game.
Just turn it on, goddamn it. I mean, it's not hard to do. But yes, I mean, give us an option to either go into the shed or go into the house as a DLC. But if you do Grounded 2, the whole playtest option, I think, was phenomenal. And that, you know, we kind of grew with the game. And that's kind of where I started my streaming, was on Grounded. So, you know, I definitely have a special place in my heart. And I actually have the Grounded box set. Hang on a second, I'll show y'all. These things are going for like $200 on eBay. It's got the spacer, it's got raw science dice in it, picture frames, all kinds of stuff. But actually, even though it's a free game, I paid $100 to get that from Limited Run Games. So, but please, you know, give us Grounded 2, enhance some of the things, but also make it to where it's an Xbox Series and PlayStation compatible. Use our hardware, because I think it happens. I'm playing with my friends and they get kicked out because you can't handle them.
Oh God, man! I mean, this is how you know we've known each other a long time, because I don't have patience for that normally, and I would get kicked out. And oh my God, before they did the fix, I kept losing my backpack when they kicked me out. Remember? Mm-hmm. And that was frustrating, man. If I ain't no Bloodaxe like that, I would have just said, man, you and that game can go jump in the lake, because I was angry. But that's what I'm saying, a sequel. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, but back on that original point, I get you, Zeno, but it's because
I thought we were done with original points. I thought we were trying to move on to the next topic.
Oh, we'll move on. All right. What you got for us?
So let's talk about you talk about jumping in a lake. It looks like Ubisoft is getting told pretty much just that by its shareholders, or minority shareholder, planning demonstrations outside the Ubisoft headquarters, citing deceptive tactics. Now, this came after found out that Ubisoft apparently had several offers on the table and didn't inform their board, and several other things. I mean, Ubisoft is... they're talking about, oh, well, the company's getting ran wrong. I don't see how anybody can not believe them. Like, there's been too much going on over at Ubisoft for anybody not to believe that it's been mismanaged. We have, all the different issues, of course, with Assassin's Creed. Oh man, the Star Wars crap.
What the heck is that?
Yeah,
Assassin's Creed Shadows. Who the heck? Oh, okay, but I mean, dude, here's the thing. We knew some of these companies were gonna have to start doing this, and I'm glad. Consequences need to happen. I can't wait till Disney has its day, because they've been lying to their investors, man. We all know that. They've been lying to their investors over and over and cheating them, and that's technically illegal. From what I understand, you can get like in real trouble for that. And I'm shocked that all they're doing is a protest. I'm like, can't you sue the company if they are purposefully losing you money?
Yeah, I mean,
I thought that was something you could do.
Well,
you have a financial responsibility to your shareholders and the board. And doing those practices, you're going to get voted out. And I remember, was it last year they tried to do a semi-hostile takeover with Disney, and they ended up backing out because George Lucas ended up supporting Bob Iger. But a lot of companies are starting to understand that people aren't going to put up with this anymore, because we vote with our wallets. And I'm not going to. Never mind. I'm going to stop right there before I go off the
So the claim is basically horribly mismanaged by current management. They want a clear roadmap for recovery to address the declining shareholder value, lackluster operational execution, and failure to adapt effectively to market trends. Which, I mean,
you know what that last one is.
Dude, failure to that's what every game company has been doing lately, right?
We know what that last one is, but like you said, the main thing is that it ain't just us. It's the shareholders who are empowering them to do this stupid crap. When your bosses don't tell you to stop effing up, you're going to keep effing up. And finally, the bosses, because the shareholders are the bosses, they're the people you're supposed to be making money, are finally looking at one of these companies. And what I hope is that this starts a domino effect and Bob Iger gets put on the fire and the rest of them get snatched up and said, hey, man, what are you doing? No, don't tell me everything's fine. I'm losing money. Stop lying to me. Stop cooking the books. What are you doing?
I mean, look at Brave New World. It's going to lose $200 million. And when Snow White comes out, was it next week or week after next?
Oh, that is getting paid hard.
Because, I mean, it's now catching up to Hollywood and these other companies, because we're okay being called phobic or ists or whatever, because we know and the people that care about us know that we're not that way. So stop trying to guilt shame us into doing something that we just don't want to do and we don't want to buy.
It's worse, Bloodaxe, because I don't even care. I've reached a point where you said it so much, call me whatever you want, I don't want your trash. And this is bad, because if you keep abusing a word and a trick, you create apathy. And you know what you don't want? Apathy? You don't want apathy for racism. You don't want apathy for homophobia or sexism or anything. That's not a good place to be. But you're going to get it if you look at somebody who says, hey, this Concord character that looks like the chick who was suing Lyft is like walking, or you're going like, that's not a person that can fight. And then they go, you're fat phobic. And I'm like, how? I know overweight people that died young. Personally known them. I've literally had a person who was that big look at me and go, I gotta fix this or I'm gonna die. Sane people know better. So it's not fat phobic. Same thing. Hey, nobody's homophobic if they go, yo, I'm straight. So I don't want to be forced to be like a way that's against what I am. That's not phobic. But if you keep calling the guy phobic, then you normalize the thing you're trying to get people not to do. The worst thing you could do is the day that somebody walks up to someone and goes, man, you're a racist. And the guy goes, sure, whatever. That's bad. That's bad. Because now you can't tell the real racist from the fake racist you manufacture. And that's what they're going to do. We're not going to know who's racist because everyone's going to identify as racist because they're going to be tired of hearing it. That's what's going to happen.
The thing about it is, you know, in my opinion, racism is almost dead. And now we all have our preferences.
Look, I don't want to get into that about where it's at.
But the way that it's being attributed is false and trying to steer people's thought processes in a different direction.
Yeah, well, like I said, I'm not really chatting about that.
Yeah,
I'm talking about
I agree with what with Q with the normalizing, because I mean, we've seen this happen. I mean, in multiple groups. I mean, look at the punk movement. I mean, punks. You know, they didn't choose punks; they were called punks, and then it became, well, now we're punk. You know, we're punks. You know, nerds and geeks. That used to be
an
insult. But eventually, the nerds and the geeks said, "Fuck it, yeah, we're nerds, we're geeks, we're
nerd culture,
geek culture, yeah." So I mean, yeah, things. If you do keep calling people the same thing over and over, eventually they get numb to it, and then then you don't know who really is because everybody's just like, yeah.
People go like, "Man, what are you, racist?" And everybody in the room just shrugs. You're like, "Well, crap. 2 of those people may be KKK members."
yeah.
You don't know because everybody shrugged at the same time because you've been calling people racist because they said, "Why did you race swap the Little Mermaid?" And to me, that's a valid question. I mean, it'd be different if it was not a Disney. I would go, yeah, it's not Disney. They're mermaid in this movie. But Disney has a character. Even crazier, they merchandise the hell out of that character. They merchandise the hell out of Ariel. So you're gonna make all of your Ariel, Little Mermaid, Ariel merchandise not valid? Like, I don't know.
So you're not taking your son to go watch Snow Woke?
I mean, if we might go laugh at it, go do the matinee. We got a matinee theater, and we'll go in there and roast it, and then come back and do a video for his channel, talk about how bad it was. That might be thanks. That's a good idea. We might actually go see it just so we can dogpile it. If only we knew a little person to throw in there too to talk about how he lost that opportunity at that. I need to find me somebody to be like, man, what you think about it? You look over the guys just like, I think that Dinklage is an asshole. He might be short like us, but he has big man asshole attitude.
All right. So
Mountaintop.
Alongside Ubisoft's problems, other companies seem to have even worse problems, though, with meeting up with gamer expectation, and that's going to be Mountaintop Studios. Which,
I mean, they're not going to have problems for much longer. In about 30 days, they're not going to have any problems.
Well, yeah, there is that. The game managed to last 6 months before they have finally shutting down the game, as well as shutting down the studio. And I mean, honestly, I can't, other than just missing the mark, there's not much reason for this to have failed. I mean,
mismanaged is what I've heard more than anything that I could verify.
Yeah.
I mean, I went at the game. There's some people claiming this and that, but unfortunately, the reverse is happening now. So many people are claiming that games are DEI or woke that's starting to lose its meaning. Because I looked at the game and I didn't really see it. I mean, some of the character designs look like they're trying to be edgy, but more than anything, mismanagement is what seems.
Well, I mean, there was no signs of consultants or anything.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Rescan. Yeah.
So,
I mean, you're right.
Games. Did y'all hear that Star Wars Hunters is being shut down? I think it's in June.
The heck is Star Wars Hunters?
It's a mobile game. But
is that a bounty hunter one?
Yeah.
Oh, was it open?
Man,
it's on the Switch and you can download it on Steam, but it's a mobile game. But that just shows you that people aren't really getting into some of this Disney stuff. Same thing with what's the new Daredevil show? Supposedly it's really good. People,
I heard it's good, but I think Disney. You know what? Well, it's what Zeno said. Zeno said it on Avowed. Sometimes that stink. You know what I'm saying? Right, Zeno?
Yeah.
That stink. Yeah. And I think that Disney has a stink on it to, even if somebody looks you in the face and goes, no, it's actually pretty good, you just go, nah.
Yeah.
Because that's me. I like Daredevil, but I haven't even mentioned watching it, you know?
Yeah, I've seen it pop up, some reviews, but yeah, no, I've sort of, you know, like, yeah, it's got the stink. It does. It has the stink. But as far as the mountaintop goes, man, the studio, yeah, it just sounds like they missed the market. And also, it seems to be more and more people are fighting back against microtransaction abuse again. We're starting to see that come back up a lot more as more and more games, even some paid games. Now, this was this particular one was free to play, but even some paid games are getting deep into the microtransaction. I mean, look at Tekken, man. I'll be honest, dude. One of the reasons I sort of haven't pulled up at Tekken on my Xbox is because I get all these ads of them wanting me to buy stuff, and I paid $70 for that game. You know, it was the reason why I
you paid more than that, dude. No, you paid more than that because you had the season pass and stuff.
Yeah. It's ridiculous, these microtransaction traps, and I don't know, man. I'm getting tired of them. They're predatory, and I mean, we talked about Epic Games, you know, getting sued about a lot of its recent practices last week.
Well, dude, I mean, I'm loving Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm loving it to death. It is annoying, though, that, like, there's a store. Like, there's a store, there's all this stuff, and it keeps going, hey, there's a new message. What's the new message? Go to the store, and I'm just like, I paid you my money. Could you at least give me a month of leaving me the hell alone about trying to sell me something? No. A month. A fucking month. Can I get 30 days?
I didn't even know there was a store in Monster Hunter, man.
On a full-price game. Huh?
I didn't even know there was a store in Monster Hunter.
Well, when you know how you go to do your bounties or all that other stuff. I mean, you never seen the thing. You've got a message. What's the message? Oh, go buy some stuff. Leave me alone.
I don't check those messages, man.
Oh, well, there you go. But you might not be careful. You get your login bonus at least. But that's just to get you to that screen. That's what the login bonus is for. I think is just to get you to go in there, and then it starts going. By the way, would you like to buy a hat for your bird? Dude, one of the things they sell are charms that hang off of the saddle. Charms. I can't even see the damn thing. It's this big, and it's like on the little saddle. I'm like, at least sell me a funny hat for my sucker hat. What the hell am I doing with a charm? I mean, they might as well be selling me nail polish, and I wear gloves.
I will say, dude, I mean, here's my thing with that, and it's because I don't think they're overly intrusive, like people were talking about with the Mountain Studios game. You know, the first thing that pops up when you load the game was like the store. You know,
that's Tekken. Yeah, that is definitely Tekken.
With Monster Hunter, it's doing it in the background. Also, the difference between that and a lot of these other games too is a lot of these games give you nothing. Where Monster Hunter does give you a lot of outfits and stuff for just going through the game. You don't necessarily have to buy to have a cool outfit.
I mean, no, I'm not saying the game is bad. I love it. I love the game. I'm just commenting that even in my favorite game, there's a bit of it there. And I really believe this, we got to make all the money. It's just annoying. At least this game was a free-to-play, but we've seen them sell games, and like I said, they're immediately trying to sell you skins and everything else. You know, guys, give me 1 sec. I gotta see what this is about. Just from Sun School.
Yeah, Flynn says work the advertisements into the game. Now that is actually an option that I thought was cool that another game did. You know, with the billboards and stuff like that, but that was advertisements for other stuff outside that. And that was a cool way for them to make money with a game without. Now, I think GTA may do it with billboards and stuff, but make money without taking it from your audience base. You're actually using company money advertising, and then your audience gets the benefit off the money that you're getting by getting cool stuff. Now, that's a lot cooler.
And I mean that is, well, I mean that's better practices, but I think that's what hurt. I mean, like I said, I think mismanagement hurt this. I don't know if the store itself was enough. It is a free to play. I understand, but at the same time, I tried to play that one game. What's that? Oh God, Bloodaxe. I don't remember that shooter game that you could play. It had the character Bunny in it and all that. Like, what was that game? Either way, I tried that free to play game out, and I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, I got ran off because I was like, I can't deal with all of this micro transaction, pay progression. You know, I'm gonna be halted. A game can get killed. What was it? Oh, a Descendant, First Descendant.
Oh,
and
I never played that game, but yeah,
prices on the stuff in that game were insane.
Dude, the amount of time it would have taken to get the character I wanted to play was beyond belief.
And you got to buy more character slots, which was.
But the problem was that the character was also like $100 to buy, and I was like, "Holy crap! Like $100 for one character? You guys crazy?" And I mean, it was out. You know, well, some of them were 100, some were 30 or 40 bucks, but. Dude, that's crazy. You're a free-to-play game. I know you're trying to make money, but you don't sell a character for $30. You've got to have lost your whole ever-loving mind. Like, and I never touched the game, and the reason we never played it is because after I saw that, didn't bother you with it. And Zeno and me talked about it, and he was like, yeah, that's crazy. Yeah. We ditched the game immediately.
Yeah, I remember I downloaded it, and you're like, just go ahead and delete it. Yeah. Speaking of which, have y'all played the Mecha Break demo?
No, but I've watched a lot of gameplay. It looks really fun. I'm not a big PvP guy, but it looks pretty cool. It looked really, really cool.
I deinstalled it. I did not enjoy it at all. I was really, really disappointed. It looked like it was written by a teenager. I mean, the dialogue was awful.
I wasn't paying attention to dialogue, man. The high-speed mecha battles were really flashy and looked pretty cool.
Well, but I tried it and like maybe it'll get better, but I really didn't enjoy the demo.
Yeah, well, the nostalgia is what got me. It's got a very Zone of Enders feel. That one goes out to my boy Flynn. Zone of Enders.
I will say that the mechs themselves, the design looked awesome.
I couldn't modify my mech, but yeah, it is kind of like Armored Core a little bit. The very fast, flashy mechs, but like the story writing was bad.
Yeah.
But the control was also very, very tough as well. It wasn't very fluid. So maybe it'll get better. But I did try the demo and I was not impressed.
Well, talking about games that
look at this Mech Warrior fan here who wants story.
No, I don't mind not having story, but if you're going to put story in, make it to where it's interesting. And not this, teenager, I'm better than you punk style. I mean, the cockiness was just, it wasn't well done. I'll just put it that way.
All right, now don't kill a transition this time. Talking about games that missed the mark, let's talk about games that hit it, motherfucker. I will kill you.
I'm on Skype. You can't do nothing.
He can cut you off.
Oh. Anyways,
I got food in the kitchen, man. I'll be back on wild.
We sort of shat on like a week or two ago, and that is Split Fiction has finally came out, and honestly, it's doing pretty well. 200,000 24-hour peak with a 259,000 all-time peak. And
knocking it out the box, man.
Yeah.
I've heard from people that it's really good. And I was like, okay, all right. I didn't like the look of it. It didn't appeal to me. But honestly, the only defense I have is I didn't know it was couch co-op. I wasn't paying attention. And that's my fault. I should have paid more attention. Couch co-op, man, is hard to get. And a good couch co-op game is incredible if you can get one. Absolutely incredible when you can get your hands on one. Yeah. I mean, we've been playing 2K24, and it's not a great game, but it's a great game to play with a friend when you can do couch co-op.
Yeah, they surveyed 9,000 gamers worldwide and said roughly 40% of respondents in the 16 to 24 age range reported it was their preferred way to play. I bet you it would be probably a higher percentage if you went for a higher age range. Because I know, I mean, if you look at the 40 plus or 45 plus age group, I mean, that's what we played growing up.
Oh, yeah. Me and Flynn and his brothers, man, grew up on co-op, man. That was our daily thing. And, you know, you talked your stories about it, and Bloodaxe, it's like co-op, couch co-op was our childhood. And it can make a Army of Two is far from the best shooter.
Oh, dude,
but yet I love it. Everybody I know that played it loved it. You know, because
the best couch co-op was Gauntlet. Gauntlet was a Dark Legacy.
So Army of Two, now Gauntlet was all right. Yeah, Gauntlet was all right, but
I mean, we recently actually, me, Q, and our boy Jarek actually recently played the remastered Gauntlet here at the Dicejunkies Studios. You know, just chilling.
That and Hunter Reckoning. Oh my God, how many hours?
Hunter Reckoning. Yeah. Me, Flynn, Kyle, Rashad playing Hunter the Reckoning and him blowing all us up with that rocket launcher.
We all three of us bought Dark Alliance because of the original Dark Alliance, which was good.
And that's also streamed. So all the videos for us playing Dark Alliance, Xeno yelling at me and Q for going the wrong directions, they're out there.
You for going the wrong direction. I was following you.
Too.
I was following you. Somebody had to keep an eye on you. Can't let Drizzt get killed. He's the main character.
Oh, I went down a lot.
But and even that game, awful game. But we have memories.
I mean, we played a good bit of it actually, just because it was co-op.
So I'm not saying the game was not good. I'm just saying that co-op is a powerful bonus. And if on top of that, now that I know, like, oh, it's the guy that did It Takes Two. It Takes Two was a very heartwarming and well-told game. So the game has a lot more potential than I originally initiated. So I'm man enough to go, I didn't give it a fair shake. You know what I'm saying?
Still not game of the year, but
better than I expected. Huh?
It's still not game of the year.
I don't think it'll be game of the year. That's Wilds more than likely, but because those numbers aren't even in the same ballpark. But but the thing is, it's also from a pretty small studio though. Like It Takes Two is an indie game that probably no one here but me knows of what I'm talking about when I mention It Takes Two.
Actually, me and Seth played It Takes Two a little bit.
Oh, okay then. What'd you think?
It's a fun game to play with a friend, but it's not something that I would play solo.
Oh, no. And that's the thing. I don't know if Split Fiction crosses the territory of it's a game that's good enough to stand outside of its co-op, but it's got a strong base, and I'm happy. I was talking to my friends that liked it and said, I'm glad because we need more games to fill these niches of what people want. And if people love split action, that's good. That's a good thing. I'll never mourn a successful game. The successful games are a good thing. Now, I talked to Xeno about trying it, and he said no. So, because he actually has it from one of his subscriptions, and he was like, nah. So I was like, all right. I was willing to give it a try, guys. But I mean, I'm not going to pay for it. But if we got it.
It's not on Xbox, is it?
No. I don't know if it was released on Xbox or not.
Free on Xbox. It's not Game Pass. I wouldn't pay for it.
No, I mean, I don't mind buying a game if it's fun to play with a friend. I'll play crappy games with my friends.
I'm looking at it, and I'm sorry. I still, even after people said it's good, I don't think I'd buy it. But if we have it, I'll play it. You know what I mean? But
I mean, it's kind of like Outlaws. If I'm not going to pay for Star Wars Outlaws, but if it came to Game Pass, I would give it a try.
I wouldn't.
I would just to see how bad it is.
I can hurt myself, but yeah.
Sorry, that's my wife texting me. Yes, I have the Lizzie laugh from my wife text message.
Hey man, one of my favorite voice actresses, best character in Gears of War 5, Lizzie. That's the character.
Actually, I'm playing Gears 5 with the missus tonight. We're going to load up Gears 5 and we're going to go through some Horde.
You know, Lizzie is an example of what can be done when you're trying. Lizzie and what's the Team Scorpio?
Oh, yeah, with Lonnie and
Lonnie.
And
I like Lonnie. I love Lizzie. I like Lonnie. Hate Kate.
Yeah, Kate's annoying, but my favorite is still Clayton. Love me some Clayton.
Clayton, yeah. I have so many characters in that game I like. I mean, Coltrane will always be my classic character, but there were a lot of good characters in Gears of War 5. Just none of them were the three main characters. Well, Dell's all right. I like Dell. Dell had some charm to him. But
he did. But unfortunately, I think canon-wise, spoiler alert, I think canon-wise, he's probably going to be the one that got killed in Gears 5. But we'll see what happens when.
Well, I mean, they can't kill. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, probably he's not the main character. He's the black guy. Probably we're gonna lose Dell. But you know what? They're doing a prequel, and hopefully they're done with that storyline. Like, I want to go back to Gears and just give me a whole new set or follow Team Scorpio. They've fudged up that main storyline and stuff that I just wasn't feeling it.
Well, the story in Gears 4 wasn't very good either. I mean, the only thing about Gears 4 I liked was whenever they tore Marcus's mansion and fucked up his tomatoes. But going back to E-Day is a good idea. But and I've been begging for E-Day, so I'm getting my wish. But I would love for them to actually go back to the Pendulum Wars, and that would be kind of a change from the humans versus the locusts to more of a Call of Duty type style. But in the Gears world, I think that actually would be fun as you try to infiltrate the bases and get the Hammer of Dawn specs, because the COG went in and stole it, which I thought was really interesting.
I don't know if Gears should get out of his genre like that and go on a human, but here's one comment I got to say. I would like to see, I think they ought to continue just following Team Scorpio, because we played the DLC mission, and dude, what they're doing seems more important than what's going on in the main story.
Yeah.
Because they're taking out the actual hives. Like, I'm like, this seems more important. Like, I want to know how this goes. You know what I'm saying?
And that was fun. I mean, you had a purpose, and the team they put together was definitely like a ragtag A-team type situation, and so it made you feel like you were playing Gears 1 all over again.
And if it escalates to where you take out the main hive, you take out the people that are a problem in the main storyline. If you found their place and bug bomb the whole thing. So I was like, I think the Scorpio storyline's more important, if I'm being honest. Like, I'm kind of more interested in the Scorpio storyline anyway. But hey, speaking of new storylines and new showrunners and new main characters and stop and sucking and Disney sucking, it just all runs around in a circle, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Come on,
I mean, and that's once again, we talked about that stink. I honestly, I don't know, man. Disney demands new Doctor Who showrunner, and Dr. Russell T Davies confirms they're looking for his replacement. So the rumor is Disney is demanding the new Doctor Who showrunner, but I don't know. It's once again, if it's Disney demanding it, what are they demanding for, though? Like at first you're like, yay, maybe we'll get a good doctor, but then it's like, well, Disney's demanding it. What are they demanding?
New doctor, Rachel Zegler.
Oh. The stank.
Or we can just go ahead so he stops messing up everything for Disney, cast Peter Dinklage. That way maybe he'll stop giving them heck. Because we all know that he's mad they didn't cast him to play all 7 dwarves. So
I will say, man, honestly, Peter Dinklage is a doctor, I wouldn't have been upset about that.
I'd watch that.
I mean, we'd all watch that. We'd probably be drinking. And like there'd be like, man, you know what? We'd have to go get the good stuff. We'd have to refill the, we'd have to get the good stuff for that one. That's a sit down and drink and just be like, this is friggin' amazing.
But I mean, it does sort of hit the magical little people stereotype thing.
Well, they owe him a role because he was, like I said, you saw how mad he was about Snow White. He's like, wait, you're not casting me? Oh, hell no. I got to do something about that. See? Will's agreeing. He said he watched the heck out of Peter Dinklage, the Doctor.
I was just saying, we all agree.
That'd be awesome.
Dude, if they actually went and turned the Master also, like they got like Hornswoggle or Brad, what's his name? Something Brad, that really good comedian. That dude's amazing. That would be awesome, man. Yeah, I could see that. Just Peter Dinklage and Brad, that would be like the best Doctor Who season we've had in a long time. I'm down for it.
See, you just want to make it comical, man. You just get you the biggest dude.
For the new
get you the biggest dude you can to be the Master. And you said the Master.
Yeah, there you go.
Chasing after
there you go.
Little,
you know what? Get the guy from Reacher. Play the Master. There you go. Just the biggest dude. And then finally, showrunner Tim Burton. Boom. Best Doctor Who. It'd be the weirdest crap we've ever seen. You'd be sitting up there going like, am I drunk or is this real? I want surreal. I want you to watch it at 1 a.m. and not know what's going on anymore. That's what I miss. I miss those moments when you're watching a really weird show in the middle of the night and you're just like, did I imagine that the next day? You ever woke up and been like, was that real?
Williams had a thing with Brad Williams. Brad Williams
is one of the best comedians, man. I would love to see Brad Williams. He is awesome. In fact, I think I might. Now it's hard. I think I'd rather have Brad as the Doctor. It's a hard call because Brad is an entertaining guy, but Peter Dinklage just looks so serious.
Well, make Brad the companion that's traveling with the Doctor.
Sonic screwdriver somebody on the toilet. I mean,
God.
Oh man, Game of Thrones reference. All right, there you go. I mean, it's more interesting than what we got. And both of them would be great representation for the people. It's way better than we got with the first Black Doctor. So they'd be, at least we're not naming like Wee Man. You know what I'm saying? We're going like, no, these actors and entertainers that are kind of I'm saying, instead of like we grabbed this dude and told him to cry all the time.
Zeno, I have a question, and because I can't remember, but do you remember any of the other Doctors getting romantically involved with folks?
Yeah, there was a.
What do you mean?
Well, do you remember the episode with Cutie?
Oh, jeez, don't bring that. Oh, that was so stupid.
Was it Peter Capaldi got involved? The story had.
Well, you had the whole Rose and the Doctor, back in 2005 that was sort of implied, and then of course he split off himself to send Rose into that alternate dimension or whatever. There was that sort of kinda, and then of course the Doctor got married to and.
Right, but they weren't romantic on screen like they were in the most recent season.
No, they weren't making out. No.
Yeah.
And they also took it seriously the other times they did it.
Because the Doctor was always more focused on the situation and wasn't selfish and interested in things for himself and that's why this Doctor kind of turns me off.
Honestly, it was a problem since 2005 I had with the Doctor was his more he in the old Doctor. He was more of almost an asexual character. He didn't really.
That's what I was getting at.
And then in 2005, when they brought back the Doctor, they gave him a little bit more of some romance chances. But yeah. So
you mean with Christopher Eccleston?
Yeah. Because that's where Crystal Eccleston started off with sort of. Which I don't know. Crystal Eccleston sort of saw Rose. I thought sort of saw Rose more as a child, where once it went over to David Tennant, it became more of of a little bit of a romantic vibe to it.
I like David Tennant. He's a good doctor.
I'm not saying I don't. I mean, David Tennant is my favorite Doctor Who of the new series. I'm just saying that was something that I wish they would have kept out of it. You know, that little bit of romance. Leave the Doctor. I mean, the dude's, you know, arguably thousands of years old. So,
I mean, I'm with you on the concept of I prefer the Doctor is a freaking alien who just looks human. Right. And, you know, but that's not even a rabbit hole. That's a wormhole we're spinning around there, man. But I hope Disney is demanding a new showrunner and stuff. Like you said, what they're asking for is a whole other story. But accountability, that could be the theme of the show, man. Like what happened earlier with the shareholders. People need to start holding these companies accountable. We're accountable. We've covered Split Fiction because we were wrong. The game's doing really well. You know, you need to be able to go, hey, here's what's going on. Here's what we need to do. Disney's hemorrhaging money. They need to do something, or their shareholders are going to eventually, man, I can't name that sucker. George Lucas ain't going to be able to bail him out every time. Eventually, it's going to be time to pay the piper.
Speaking of George Lucas, did you hear that they destroyed his old
legacy in Star Wars? Yes, it was horrible.
No, remember how he wrote those 3 treatments for the new trilogy? Allegedly, Kathleen Kennedy had them destroyed. They're no longer in existence.
Yeah.
Which is asinine. Sorry.
I mean, dude, did you not go see the movie? She clearly wiped her ass with them.
My cat brought in a baby squirrel, and that's what my wife was showing me. They got somebody from the Humane Society is picking up the squirrel. We had a rabbit a couple of days ago that he brought in the house. It's been insane. The critters that my cats bring inside is crazy.
At least hilarious. I mean, he's bringing them in alive.
Yes, he brought me a rabbit. He brought me a squirrel. He's brought me a couple of snakes. We've had 3 birds, frogs. He brings me all kinds of different trophies.
He's a hunter.
He is a hunter. He's crazy.
He's catching snakes and birds. Those aren't exactly easy to catch.
The fact that he brought in a rabbit, I mean, a bloody rabbit. I heard squealing. I'm like, what the hell is that? And there's this brown rabbit my cat's chasing around the house.
Well, you know, you said you hadn't been eating for a while. The cat's trying to help. He thinks you're hungry. He's bringing you food. He's like, hey, boss, been missing a few meals. Here.
I'm trying to eat better. I've been going to the gym 3-4 days a week. I'm really trying to, because my labs came back and they're starting to elevate. I'm almost pre-diabetic. I'm like, oh, fuck that. So I've been trying to do better. But yeah, he's bringing me protein, definitely.
There you go.
But
what's going on?
All right, we'll wrap it up on that, guys.
Real life, suckers.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It's real life. We living out here.
All right, guys. Be sure to go to Dicejunkies.com where you can check out links there where we are online, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on our YouTube channel. And as every week,
we hope you enjoy.